Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Glenn McCormick here with Remax First Justin Haber and Associates. Um, my buddy and colleague Dan is on vacation, and I don't want to bug him. He's in sunny Florida with nice, consistent weather there. So let's let him have a little retreat, and I shall not disturb his vacation. You know, it's been pretty busy, as I'm sure you all know. In April, we've had more sales than you can ever believe. We had 4,107 sales in Calgary, and that's all property types. Let's review the different kinds. We got 2,280 of those were detached homes, 709 were townhomes, 346 were semi-detached, and the big one, at least me conceptually, is the apartments sold 771 units in March, just last month here, which if you remember, the best months last year were like 400 something. So this is definitely changing. And then we'll go over the hotometer stuff in a little bit. But I wanted to talk about also, since it's April 11th as I'm filming this, we're going to talk about the last 31 days just to give you, the most up-to-date information. So in the last 31 days, we've had a little less than 4,107 sales. I mean, that's huge, right? We've had 3,864. Now, it all depends on the days of the week because most sales seem to occur, Fridays, Saturdays when people have those conditioned days up. So, I mean, we'll compare it to how it looks at the end of April. We'll see. We might get over 4,100 sales. But yeah, for now, it's the 3,864 sales in the last 31 days, going back to March 11th, right? And also, in that same amount of time, we're going to focus now on new listings and inventory. So, in March, for example, we had 5,227 new listings hit the market on all property types. So that's obviously going to mean that inventory is increasing. In the last 31 days, we've had 5,018. So a little bit less than all of March. Again, depends on the day of the week, right? Things change. So let's talk a little bit about months of inventory, because the months of inventory stat is specifically about if no new listings were to hit the market, then this is how many months it would take to exhaust the inventory completely. Now, in total, and I'm just talking about March here, would total is 1.06. So it would take just like over 1 month to exhaust the inventory if no new listings were to hit the market. Detached is under a month, is 0.96. Apartments 0.151. Remember, there used to be seven something last year. Semi-detached 1.08, and row is 0.89. As you can see, this side right there, we've got it peaked in February as 64.2% of listings were selling at or above asking price. That went down to 59.6, which is lower than February, yes, but look at the history of last year, right? It's still huge. This orange number here, you can see that's the number of homes actually sold, which is just monumental. Look how high this thing is. And we'll see where it goes in April. This little number here, by the way, 55.5, that's so far in April, from the 1st to 11th here. We'll keep an eye on that as well. Anyways, this is the number of showings of properties this year versus last year. So the blue is last year, the red is this year. You can see from the beginning of January, all years start a little bit slow. We actually were having more showings of listings in January last year versus January this year. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment. And then you could see this year really peaked at the end of January, early February, and then all the way till kind of near the middle of February here. This is where most of the showing activity has been going on this year. You can see we took a break as we entered into the end of February, and then March. We had one busy week in March. Must have been nice weather. I have a theory about that, but then now we're kind of leveling out here around the 1,500 showings on a weekly basis. And yeah, last year there were more showings going on, but you know what? That's because there was also a lot more listings, right? So that's important to consider. One more screen of this. Here we go. Now this is a little bit better to show the demand in our market here, because this is again showing red for this year, blue for last year, and this is the number of showings per listing. So again, you see those spikes. Look at that, like almost 16 showings per listing on average for all the listings out there, which is pretty crazy. And right now we're sitting at about 8.4. I feel like this is more indicative of what's going on. This is a lot of buyers' fatigue right here, eh? Buyers are really tired of fighting over listings and all that. So this is what's kind of happening. 8.4 is the number of showings per listing on average. It's still really, really good. That's in 1 week. I remember last year you're like, 3-4 showings in a week. That's all right, So now this is double. All right, that's it for now. So we are going to keep watching this market, and I'm going to share some new stats with you next month with Dan. Dan's going to be back, and we'll see you then. Enjoy.